Yo. Just give you a minute and see if anyone's around. I'm not going to lie. I've put a little softening filter over this because without it, I'm so shiny from that face peel I had yesterday. Like, you can see it a little bit here, but I'm so shiny. I met my friend for coffee this morning and I was like, look, mate, just so you know, wear shades because the light is going to be bouncing off my shiny little cheekbones today. I had to put like 800 different serums and creams and oils and things on my face to protect it from the sun today. Even though it's like -degrees in this office, it's actually quite sunny outside. Say hello if you're here live or on the replay. Tell me all the things. I was just thinking yesterday how funny it is, like people's preconceptions of, because I'm obviously doing this body image. Hi, Kerry. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've noticed how, like, because I'm a Taurus, I'm like a Taurus sun and a Leo moon, Leo rising. And I very occasionally in the past have allowed myself to really indulge in self-care, like getting my nails done, having facials and things like that, buying clothes and wearing fabrics that feel really nice to me. And then I'll like slip out of that sometimes. And just recently in the last few weeks, I've really been letting my sacral, which is my authority in human design, I've really been letting my sacral guide me as to what she wants to wear. So even if I'm just around the house, I'd normally be wearing like sweatpants and a hoodie. And if my sacral's like, no, I actually want to wear, you know, the dungarees and the blue lacy bra, or I want to wear this, and I want to have my hair down today and put some mascara on, even though I'm just at home sitting in the garden reading a book or whatever. And it's really been quite miraculous how little tweaks like that and allowing my sacral to guide me in even the things that I want to wear each day, or what I want to have for breakfast, or whether I want to have coffee or green tea, you know, all these little decisions, how they all add up to allowing me to actually feel more beautiful and feel like I'm happy for the world to see me. I think sometimes it's quite a vulnerable thing. It certainly has been for me, my journey with my femininity, with my beauty, whatever that means to anyone. It's different for everyone, right? And I have always kind of categorized beauty as this thing that is like this, it's basically been set up by like white men across the globe, like, this is what beauty is. We're setting the standard and you just all have to fucking meet it. And it's like, but I don't look like that. I look like I should have been born in the 1940s and I should be wearing little dresses and going, I baked you a cake. You know, that's the kind of vibe that I've, you know, that my aesthetic, if you will, has kind of presented in the past. And it doesn't really fit with the aesthetic of when I was, you know, my most formative around body image and stuff, probably in my you know, younger years and in my teens. It was very much like the size 0, that was like the aim. The people that you saw in magazines were all incredibly kind of thin. Again, not shaming anyone. If you're very lean, you're very slender, that's fucking amazing as well. But just like that was the dominant image of beauty when I was growing up. And I always hated that I had curly hair, and now I fucking love my curls. I love them. And when people say to me, oh yeah, we always want what we don't have, I'm like, no. I love my hair. And all of these things, I think I've just really, as I'm getting older, I'm definitely noticing that I'm aware of where I've held myself back in terms of being able to appreciate myself physically, and where I've allowed the male gaze to be a factor in how I look. And I didn't even realize, you know, like I used to be like, oh, whatever, that's not really a thing. And then as I've gotten older and I've started to like relax more and more into myself, I've really noticed like, oh shit, man, I have almost underplayed certain elements of what may make me beautiful. Even as I'm saying it, like I find it very uncomfortable to say something like, just come out straight and say, my sacral, when I spoke to her a couple of weeks ago, I was like, okay, so what needs to shift? What needs to happen? I could feel something wasn't quite in alignment. And she was like, you need to, quote unquote, use, I don't mean that in like a manipulative way, more like show and actually like harness the energy of your beauty. And I was like, what? I can't do that. Yuck. Oh no, what if people don't think I'm beautiful? And then I put it out there and I get mocked because people are like, oh, who do you think she is? And it was very confronting to have that message from my body. And I was like, whew, okay, let's unpack that. And so for the last couple of weeks, I've really just been feeling into that and doing some clearing and journaling around it, and just some real, like, a lot of the work that I actually do when it comes to mindset and energy is really just about noticing when those negative patterns come up, negative, whatever. And then reframing them in my mind and being able to actually shift into a new way of thinking about things. And that's when I really started to notice how much I allowed my perception of what men would think about me, and not even men, but like boys, do you know what I mean? Like, people who are like younger than me, or people who I wouldn't even be attracted to anyway. And I was like so busy worrying about how everyone else perceived me in comparison to other people. And I'm just like, you fucking kidding me? Like, live your life, bitch. It was actually one of my beautiful male friends who messaged me after I posted that comment about, having a little cry at my cellulite in the mirror, and then kind of getting my shit together and ending up celebrating myself last week or the week before. And he messaged me and he was like, what are you talking about? Like, you are so committed to your body, to your fitness. Like, what is your problem? Like, why are you worried? Don't fucking cry over cellulite. And I was like, yeah, okay, I suppose. But it's so funny to me that I've held this perception of how people see me physically, and a big part of the work that I've done with myself, and I mentioned this before, is to kind of stop looking at myself as the fat kid and start looking at myself as the athlete, or as, I'm going to be 38 next week. So it's like looking at myself as like, I'm a woman, I'm closer to 40 than I am to 30. I'm a fucking grown up, and yeah, I look good for my age. Don't get me wrong. Whenever I tell someone my age now, I do literally say to them, and this is where you tell me that I look really good for 37. Oh, you don't look 37, Georgina. You only look 25. Well, thank you so much for saying that. It's almost as though I gave you the words to repeat to me. Thank you. But as I'm just noticing, like, as I'm kind of getting closer to 40 and I'm starting to feel into, like, I still feel like a little kid. And maybe some of that is to do with the fact that my life's work gene key is number 3. And if any of you know anything about gene keys, this is literally like transforming the shadow of chaos through the gift of innovation to the siddhi, like the highest vibrational frequency is innocence. And it's they call it through the eyes of a child. So I very much have like this playful heart. I have this playful energy, which I think makes me feel like a kid sometimes. And therefore I've often felt like, I can't own that I'm a grown up. What the fuck is that all about? Ooh, people might find out that I'm just a little kid. But I'm just starting to own all of that now and be like, fuck it. I'm allowed to be a little kid and a grown ass woman. Both are fine. They don't have to be mutually exclusive. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of the people who follow my work are going to be like, yes, I still feel like a small child as well. And I think we forget that. We forget that we're not the only one that feel these things. So particularly when, when you think about, you are a vibrational match right now for everything that you've called into your life. You're a magnet for everything that you currently have attracted. And therefore, in order to attract something different, you just need to kind of shift that magnetic field, shift your understanding of what's happening internally with that frequency. And things happen fucking quick when you do this. And I've seen it time and time again in my own life and very much in my clients' lives. But when I think about myself, and when I allow myself to understand that both frequencies can exist at the same time, that everyone around me is also a fragment, you know, they reflect something back to me about myself. So if I'm here thinking, oh my God, I can't own my playfulness and my childlike nature and my like playful heart, I can't own that as much as I would like to, because it's not as valuable in this industry or the society or whatever as maybe having like, you know, like a more serious and like a deep conversation. And I can do both. I can do both, and I do both. I hold that polarity inside of me, and the likelihood is you do as well. So really, one of the things that I'm finding I work more and more on with my clients is just reminding them to play, and reminding them that just because they're a grown-up and just because they have quote unquote responsibilities doesn't mean that they can't embrace life with the playfulness of, you know, through the eyes of a child, if you will. So yeah, this has kind of gone on a bit of a random rant, but then sometimes those are the best live streams, so I'll just let it ride and see what comes out. Hey Gabriella, nice to see you, babe town. So yeah, so I came on to basically have a little riff with you about how I find it really interesting how people perceive, this is nothing to do with what I was talking about really, but my intention was to come on and talk to you about the body image badassery clearing session via a story, which is how I find it interesting people's projections onto me of what they assume I must be doing in order to maintain a level of fitness or a certain physique or whatever, you know. And someone actually said to me the other day, we were talking about a mutual friend in terms of like how amazing their business is, just like, whoa, fucking hell, they've like gone for it. It's incredible what they've built. And I was like, I really feel like, holy crap, like, what did I say? Because it led me into the next piece. I was talking to a woman in the gym changing room. We talked about mutual friends' business, how fucking like it just gone skyrocketed and how fucking amazing it was. What did I say? Oh, that's right. I was like, yeah, she's so driven. Like it, I was like, I just don't know if I have it in me to be that fucking driven. And this woman I was talking to reflected back to me like, oh no, but you're really driven as well. And I just looked at her and I was like, if you knew how much time I sit on my ass in the garden, snuggling the dog, scrolling through the internet, watching Netflix, napping, meditating, chilling the fuck out, like, if you knew how much time I spend like actively in my business, like focused in my business versus how much time I'm just like chilling and living my life, I'm not sure you would perceive me to be as like driven in the same way. And I think what we do is we create an idea about someone. So maybe you've created an idea about me and what you think I am or what you think I do in my business or how I show up. And you've looked at me and gone, oh, wow, there's XYZ about Georgina. But I can never have that because I am not like that. I am not that driven. I'm not that motivated. I don't have the willpower to do that. I don't like exercise. Whatever it is. I don't like doing live streams. I don't like writing content, whatever the fuck you're comparing. And we do this, and I've done it as well. Like I did it with my beautiful friend where I was like, oh, she's just way more driven than me. And then when I looked at it, I'm like, well, maybe my drive, I'm as driven. I just have I'm driven towards a different outcome. For me, my drive, really, my internal driving force is a desire to feel free and to feel nourished and satisfied and fulfilled and like I'm actually living my life. I like to feel like I'm doing this, like I'm such a little sacral person. I'm like all the feelings. I like to feel that life, I'm living my life, that I can feel it as an entity, as a thing, as an energy moving through my body. I'm a very sensual person. And what I mean by that is, you know, I'm reclaiming the word sensual because I definitely bastardized it in my own mind. Like, this kind of, the word sensual to me, I'd kind of like hooked it in with, you know, sexuality and being sexual. And although that is a part of who I am, like it's a deep desire of mine, like I hold that in my sacral for sure and in my field. But sensuality is about the senses. And what I have realized, as I was talking about at the beginning of the live stream, is how important it is to me to, or how I feel about things is the most important thing for me as a sacral being. And, you know, if I don't feel in someone's energy, if I don't feel good about that, then there's something I need to address. As I like remove myself from the situation, or I need to actually like do some inner work maybe. But I also very much have noticed that to feel full, for me, to feel satisfied, it is not enough for me to just be grind, work, train. I need to, I think one of the reasons I love Muay Thai so much is because it's very physical. I get to make noise. I get to feel someone landing a kick on me. I feel the pads. I feel my shin going into a pad or into a bag. You know, it's like very sensual, as in it. You walk into the gym and it smells like Thai oil. You know, like as soon as I'm there, I'm like transported and I'm activated into, right, I'm going to train. So the environment is very important to me as well. And the more that I've started to understand this kind of like using all of my senses to create experience for myself, it just means that like I'm more engaged in every moment of my life. And when I disappear into, my boyfriend and I call it disappearing into phone land, and I just kind of staring at my phone. When I disappear into phone land, I'll kind of feel myself like slipping out of my body a little bit. And I'm like, oof, I don't like that. And now I have ways of bringing myself back into my body. And it all, for me, is about coming back to the senses, coming back to, back into the body, breathing. Can I hear the birds chirping in the garden? What temperature is it? Am I still happy in this outfit? Is this material like still feeling good to me? Am I warm enough? Like all of these kind of things. Am I hungry? Like it's quite primal, and it might sound quite basic, but coming back to all of these things is really bringing me back into a place of deep connection with myself, with my body, and with what it feels like to be alive as me, rather than watching other people's lives unfold on social media or on the television and being like, oh, that's what life should look like. And without realizing, like absorbing that information as though it's mine, as though like watching someone on Instagram or watching someone on Facebook, or, you know, as I say, like on the television, or overhearing other people speaking about their lives, and somehow unconsciously absorbing that that's what my life is meant to be, and that's who I'm meant to be and how I'm meant to look. And actually, when it comes down to it, it dawned on me the other, I have this realization every now and then, and it's usually something that's part of the catalyst to move me forward into my next evolution of whatever I'm working on at the time. And it happened to me just recently where I was like, fuck, am I really going to continue? This is like when I cried about the cellulite, right? It was like, am I going to continue to spend, am I going to spend another fucking 37 years worrying about what people think about my body? Am I going to spend another fucking, even another year, another month, another fucking day worrying about what some fucking person who may not even be in my life, in, you know, like this is not a specific person, this is just like random imaginary person that I'm pointing to, who apparently is over here in my office. What the fuck are you doing here? Get out. But it's this idea that we're allowing, we're giving away our power, right? We're allowing our perception of how other people perceive us, we're allowing that to be our guiding light, to be our guiding star. And that's why people can't stay motivated. That's why they can't stay like juiced up and excited about the thing that they're creating, whether it's the physique, the business, the offering, the artwork, whatever it is, the relationship. If you're creating it from a place of, I've consumed these ideas and I think that when I put all these pieces of the puzzle together, this is what my life is meant to look and feel like, versus asking your own fucking DNA blueprint that lives inside your fucking body, energetic blueprint, you know, your soul blueprint that it was downloaded into this fucking body, and we're looking outside for it. And it's like, I understand that everything's a mirror and it reflects things back to us, and that's great. But if you're not running it through your internal authority and your internal filter of, is this for me? then you're going to be continually running on that hamster wheel, on that treadmill, just like, one day I'll be happy, one day I'll be happy, one day I'll be happy. And you fucking won't be, because you are chasing a carrot, and you don't even want a carrot, you want a piece of motherfucking cake, right? So when you're chasing something that doesn't feel good to you, that's when you need to use things like willpower and like push. And I'm just not interested in living a life where I have to fucking push constantly. I'm so tired of using my like Taurian drive, you know, and like my root and sacral ability to like push through things. I'm just no longer, the postman's just dropped some post in, that's why my dog is acting like a savage. I'm just no longer interested in living a life that doesn't feel just fucking delicious. So I'm telling you all of this because obviously, you know, in itself, hearing me speak about these things is hopefully some kind of activation or reminder for you. I'm so driven by what to. Oh, interesting. Interesting that you said that, Gabriella. And then we got there in the end. Just had cake. Fabulous. I had a pastry for breakfast today for the first time in a long fucking time. And it was delicious. And I ate it with my friend by the harbour and we chatted and it was wonderful. What a way to start the day. But yeah, just shaking things up, doing things a bit different. I wouldn't normally get out of bed early and then drive into town to go and see my friend before I had a meeting. I wouldn't fucking do that. I'd be like, nah, we'll see each other when like you don't have meetings and I can meet you like at midday. But instead I was like, no, this feels exciting. This feels fun. Let's go. I'm going to have a pastry, motherfucker. And it was a great way to start the day. So yes, don't forget, if all of these concepts and ideas really resonate with you, then do reach out, because I do have some catalyst sessions available, but they are only available to the end of today because I've decided, my sacral screamed at me, as did the mastermind I'm a part of. They were like, what are you doing? Put your fucking prices up. I was like, yes, you're right, I know. So what I've actually done is I've created something that feels so fucking exciting. And I've already sold one without even marketing it. So I only have 2 of these left. These are the Catalyst immersions where we get to work together for a whole month. For 30 days, you get me, you get 4 one-to-one calls, unlimited access via Telegram, all of the things. I can't even begin to express how fucking potent this is going to be, but I know that if you feel it in you and you need it and you want it, you already fucking know. So just reach out, because there's only 2 more spots available. One has already gone, as I say, without me even really, I spoke about it once, and one of those spots has already gone. But yes, if you want a one-off catalyst session, they're available to the end of today, so do reach out to me. They are 777. You can split it into 2 payments if you really feel the need to, but if not, it's 777 in one bash. We jump in, we do an hour session, you get 2 weeks of me on Telegram to help support you moving forward and integrating those changes. And of course, tomorrow, tomorrow we have a 2-hour live stream masterclass and clearing. Holy fucking shit. It's all around body image. It's all around fitness. It's all around self-love. All of the things I'm talking about around how, all the things I've learned about the identity pieces, like who do I have to believe I am in order to just effortlessly show up at the gym. Honestly, I was thinking about this the other day. I used to fucking hate exercising. When I was a kid, my form of exercise was like dangling upside down on the climbing frame, or like, and playing with my imaginary friend Bertie Bonker, who was an elephant who wore a green suit and a green bowler hat. He lives under a mushroom, under a toadstool. Sorry. Sorry, Bertie. We'll ask no more questions about that. We just accept the fact that I had imaginary friends, because of course I fucking did. Hello, have we met? And on top of that, I used to like love riding my little bicycle and all of that kind of stuff. So I was a really active kid when I look back. But in my mind, I've still got these, well, not anymore because I've fucking done so much motherfucking clearing on these things. But I had this story about being the fat kid and not liking exercise, because I was, again, if you don't want to do it, it doesn't mean you're lazy. It's just that you don't want to do it the way that you've been told to, or that you think you have to do it. If you want to get fit, if you want to change your body shape, if you want to feel more energized and you want to feel just like better in yourself, and you feel like I should be exercising, then, or like I should be eating different, then it's very difficult for us to actually gain any momentum when we're following the should, rather than, well, what do I actually want? What do I actually want my body to look like? I mean, it's beautiful as it is, coming from acceptance. I love what it is. I love what it does for me. Holy fuck, it's amazing. I wonder what my body wants to look like. You know, checking in with our body, like, if I just let my body guide me, where would it take me? What would it allow me to evolve into? I wonder how it would evolve if I just let it guide me to the foods that it naturally wants to eat, rather than binge eating because we're in deprivation, or, you know, any of these things. Trust me, I've been there, I've done it, I fucking got the t-shirt, I've tried it. You know, I've done so many fucking diets and exercise plans, and the only thing that has really worked for me consistently is training Muay Thai, because I love it. I love it. And if I didn't love it, I wouldn't do it. And for a short while, after my first fight, I really just like took a break because I didn't want to go anymore. I was like, no, I think I just need a break. But I came back to it, and I always come back to it. And it's also about knowing that when you're not feeling the urge to do that thing, what we tend to do, right, is we like attach the results to the action. So me, if I was only ever training Muay Thai, like I took a break about 2 years ago, maybe a year and a half ago. I took a few months off because I just wanted to try a different kind of training. So I started working with my beautiful friend Victoria, or you may know her as Vamp. And I started doing like strength training, resistance training, going to the gym, doing little runs and stuff. And I got really hooked on that, and I loved it. And then once my fitness levels were up and I started to feel even better about myself, I was like, do you know what? I think I am going to start training Muay Thai again. And then my light was ignited again for that. And I just picked up where I left off and carried on. And now I do a combination of both. It becomes dangerous to us when we're like, oh, I can only get the results I want. I can only feel good about myself if I'm training Muay Thai. Because then what happens is, as soon as I start to get really serious about training, or I show up and I'm like, right, this is serious time, I'm fucked. I will have a shit motherfucking session. There is a difference between being focused and showing up for the session, showing up for the training, and being like engaged in it and really learning and listening and tweaking and playing. But it has to come from a place of like feeling nourishing to me. As soon as I fall into like that open will center place of like trying to prove myself to myself or anyone else, trying to like prove that I deserve to be in that gym, or that I deserve for people to speak to me the way that they do in that gym, like, oh, you've been doing this for a long time, or, oh, you know, you do that really well, or, oh, how do you do that? You know, I kind of go, oh fuck, don't look at me, like don't look to me, I'm still learning as well. You know, all of these things, as soon as I get serious or up in my head about it, it stops being fun. And I'm really not here to live a life that doesn't feel deeply satisfying and enjoyable. So if you're ready to kick the living shit out of the limiting beliefs, the bullshit stories that you've got around your health, when it comes to your fitness, your ability to maintain some level of consistency, or what you even think consistency has to be, because let me tell you, I am not a consistent being. The only thing I'm consistent in is being inconsistent and doing what the fuck I want. And if that happens to be Muay Thai, that's what I'll do. And if it happens to be laying on my daybed, snuggling my dog, listening to weird frequencies to heal my soul, then that's what I'm going to do. So if this sounds like something that you would really enjoy, do click the link and come and join us tomorrow for our 2-hour live stream. If you know you want more Nolly all up in your business, then do reach out to me about the one-off Catalyst sessions. Or if you already know, like this badass who just signed up yesterday, if you already know you want even more than that and you're ready to completely fucking turn your life around, give me a message about the Catalyst immersion that starts in May. It's all one-to-one. It's not a group offering. It is the highest touch offering I've created in a long, long time. I'm very excited about it. Message me if any of these things are for you. Join Body Image Badassery, click the link. I will see you on the flip side. Have an amazing rest of your day and weekend. Love you, bye.